Welcome back. So I don't know what happened, but within the past 2 days, the downloads for this mod almost doubled, and the subscriber count on this channel more than doubled. So don't know what happened, but that reminded me that I never made another video covering the newer features of this mod. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Some of these were added in quite a while ago. I just didn't get around to them. So we'll get around to it now. First off, we added in the Beezu. They spawn in hives in the jungle and flower forest. Sometimes they can spawn solo, but not typically. And the reason they're so slow and well, not moving right now is because of this queen thing. It keeps them in place. If I were to break it, they would kind of move around, in theory. If I spawn them in, they'll move around as they do. And if I were to spawn in a queen, they would move to it. Yeah. They want to be near it. This is something you can use to drive them out of their hives. They can produce honey if you get them on a honeycomb block, and then you take this flower, but they'll follow it, and then right click it while it's on the honey block and it'll form honey. Yeah, pretty simple. They're pretty common. Next up is this guy. I've also been told I don't know how to say any of their names correctly, so I guess I'm not really gonna try with them. These guys only spawn in the meadows, and they don't do too much, but they do like wheat. And if you have a wheat field out in the meadow somewhere, they are going to want to destroy it. Seeds. Yeah, and they'll blow it up. The explosions don't hurt anyone, but they destroy blocks and stuff. There's a secret version of these guys that doesn't destroy wheat fields and is tameable with an inventory, so you can store stuff inside of it, but it's a rare spawn. Only meadows. Next is this warden. He's important because you need his drops in order to make the DNA breakers. And the DNA breakers, they can turn any creature into a mutated version of itself, because, you know, it breaks the DNA. Attacking him's really not the best idea because you'll get all these ailments every time you punch him. It's meant to be a challenge. His health and attack is quite low, but all of these extra effects definitely have an impact. You can craft this scythe using his claws. He spawns in deserts. Only deserts. It's quite a low chance. Next are these guys. They spawn only in the wooded Badlands. I was trying to get some creatures that would spawn in only very unique areas to make them more developed. You can only tame them. Oh, I forgot about this. Real quick, I forgot. They're scared of this, so that'll keep them away from your wheat fields. They stay about 32 blocks away from it. Yeah, you can tame them only if you have the Staff of Peace. And then, if you saw one of my previous videos, they shoot projectile fireballs at anything you tell it to. But in the wild, they will target the Badlands. These guys. Yeah. You might see them fighting in action in the wild. Next we have this guy. A lot of people requested him to be added. He spawns in warm oceans. There is a specific structure they can spawn in these nests. Hostile. Only can be made friendly using the Staff of Peace. I think I have him targeting all Alatua. I don't remember. These guys, they're friendly. They spawn in mangroves. They don't really do very much. They're just kind of like these cute things. I think they drop slime balls. Only mangroves, so something unique to that biome. I didn't release him yet as of recording this video. This guy spawns in the Dark Forest, specifically in these library structures. You can barter with them using written books. Oops. They'll drop some goods with the written books. Which ties into this next one of the first sweet creatures. I didn't know how to work them into the mod, so I came up with the idea that since these guys are considered intelligent, you can obtain them by trading with him, because apparently I have to work on it some more, but I want it to be so these guys can craft these, like, it's a magic thing, I don't know. I thought it would be interesting to be able to craft them or to cook them with their help, because, you know, they're intelligent, they know what they're doing. Tameable, you feed them bread, they can be tamed, and they'll attack anything that hurts you, but they're quite weak. It doesn't take much to kill them. So those are all of the new creatures that I never went over in the video. And this one is a redesign. I redesigned this guy. Where is it? There we go. I redesigned him because a lot of people were like saying the model was too blocky and it didn't look right or didn't fit. So I redid it. It's gonna be blocky, there's nothing I can do about that, but it's not as bad as it was. Everything up before it is still the same, it's just I changed the model to make it less dumb looking, I guess. I don't know. They still spawn in the mangroves and on the beaches. So that brings me to this other point. A lot of the earlier creatures I made them on my phone when I was traveling, so they're not as good as the ones I can make while on a computer. So a lot of them need to be redesigned and definitely reanimated because, for example, this creature was my second ever model that I made. So I only ever made one other model before that one and it wasn't that good, so considering it came out the way it did, it's not bad. But still, the point is, when I started the mod back in July, I hadn't have any experience, so all of the early creatures are quite blocky. Some of them have rough animations, so they need to be redesigned. So these are the ones I'm planning to redesign at some point. These two are pretty new, but this one didn't come out how I liked. It's too blocky and he doesn't look right. If anything, I might just retexture this one and not necessarily redesign the model itself. But these three definitely need a new model. It doesn't quite fit the other ones. Its animations are quite rough, it's very blocky, and the texture has this issue. A lot of them have this texture issue. I didn't realize what was causing it until much later, so the newer mobs don't have that issue. Yeah, these guys all need the new animations because they're quite rough. I had a griffin out earlier. Oh, no, yeah, this one. It just doesn't look right. There's no life to it. I learned some new tricks over the past few months to make them look more alive when they move, so I'll have to add that in. So the next big part of the update is the library, which plays on the fact that the Lux are intelligent. One of the few things I follow with the original lore, and basically the whole point was to integrate Creatures of Sonaria and Minecraft technology. So since they're intelligent, they're trying to figure out both worlds. So you'll have relics from Creatures of Sonaria and you'll have some Minecraft features. There's treasure hidden about. There's some stuff in the ceiling. It's not really doing it right now. Maybe it didn't spawn in right, but these are... yeah, that's supposed to happen. I don't remember where I hid the treasure other than in the roof. Yeah, there's stuff up here you can get. Otherwise, naturally in your game, they will spawn with the creatures already inside, so there's quite a few of them you can trade with right away. And you can get quite some rare things, but some of the newer stuff you can get are these new clothes. It took a little trying to figure out how to add them in, because I had only ever added in the antlers, and that took forever to figure out how to do, and to do right. So, for now, these new cosmetics, I probably have to tweak them. I'm not good at armor yet. It's just something. You can't craft these, you can only get them from trading with the Lux. So, you know, it's a reason to go find this thing. And this up here is just an idea that I had I thought would be funny because, you know, they're smart. It's a Pero balloon, so it's a vehicle you can only find at the library, and you fly it. It's just some funny thing you can collect. Nothing crazy. It doesn't do anything other than fly and tell it to. There's a lot with this mod that still has to be fixed and all, especially since so many of the models were made on my phone, so the quality's not as good as it could be, especially now. Yeah, that's kind of the main thing I've been hearing, is that some of the models were too blocky, and the focus shouldn't be on the creatures, it should be adding in other stuff. I'm trying to figure out more that could be added in, like the cosmetic armor, these new blocks, the library blocks, which you can only get from the libraries. I didn't make a key to craft them. This secret thing, you can summon it in with commands, but I didn't put a spawn egg. I don't know. I might later. I'll figure it out. I don't know. I don't get a lot of feedback from updates that I post, but I noticed recently my very first video on this mod got a ton of comments out of nowhere. So I'll go through them and see what people said, if there's any kind of extra feedback or ideas to add in, because sometimes I don't know what a player would want, because I don't play the same as other people do. Everybody might want something different. So that's about it for this video. It's just very roughly going over what else I added in. Update will be out soon enough. It really just adds these two creatures in the library and some blocks and cosmetics. Something to do, something to explore and find. There's a lot more I have planned, but I don't make updates as often anymore because I am not with a ton of free time like I was back in July. So yeah, I just update this whenever I feel like it or have the time to put into it. So, thank you.